Welcome back to Hope's Homemade Kitchen. If you're new here, I'm Hope, and each week I bring you step-by-step recipes that you can make in your own kitchen no matter what your experience level. Today we're making Carbone's Spicy Rigatoni Vodka. Now Carbone's has several restaurants across the US, and we usually go to the one in Vegas whenever we're there, if we can get reservations. Their Spicy Rigatoni Vodka is absolutely delicious. You can have it as a main meal or as a side with meatballs or any other Italian food that you love. Now I know Carbone's now has jarred tomato sauces, and you could certainly do it that way. Today we're going to make it from scratch. Let's get started and I'll show you the ingredients. I'm using pipe rigate, salt and pepper, Parmesan cheese, butter, a sweet onion, 3 cloves of garlic, heavy cream, San Marzano tomatoes, Calabrian chili paste, vodka, a little bit of sugar, and basil for garnishing. Okay, the first thing we want to do is chop up our onion. We're going to be caramelizing the onion. So we're going to be slicing our onion in thin strips, and we'll caramelize them on the stove in some butter. So I'm doing mine about like that. I know Carbone's has locations in New York, which I think is the original, Miami, and the one that I've been to is Las Vegas. So that's 1 medium onion, sliced thin. We'll also need some minced garlic. Some say that this recipe does not have garlic in it. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think garlic ever hurt anybody, and I'm putting it in this recipe. So if you don't like garlic, you can certainly leave it out. Okay. We will put that aside. Okay, let's go over to the stove and we'll start to caramelize our onions. Okay, we'll put 2 tablespoons of butter in a pan and set it on medium heat. So this will take a total of about 15 to 20 minutes. So be patient. You don't want to brown the onions, you just want to caramelize them. So it'll be a slow cook. So you'll see our onions are very thinly sliced. Those are really going to cook down. So you just want a little bit of kosher salt on there, about 1/4 of a teaspoon. A little pepper. Turn that down a little bit. We don't want it to cook too fast. You'll want to stir these around occasionally so they don't get too brown. Okay, while this is cooking, I'm going to start on my tomato sauce, because this will take about another 15 minutes or so. So I have it down on medium-low, which is between a 2 and a 4 on my gas stove. Okay, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. So I have the heat on about medium. Once that melts, I want to saute my garlic for about a minute, continuing to stir my onions. I'm going to put in my 3 cloves of garlic, or 4 small cloves of garlic. You'll just want to saute that for about a minute. You don't want them to turn brown. Ooh, that smells so good. Okay, for this recipe we want a 14.5-ounce can of San Marzano tomatoes. I'm only making half of this recipe, so I'm using, for the whole recipe, I'm using like only 8 ounces of pasta. Now, if you're making a larger recipe with 16 ounces of pasta, then go ahead and use the whole 28 ounces of tomatoes. But I'm going to use what would equate to 14.5-ounce can of San Marzano tomatoes. And these usually come in kind of a hole, so you'll want to squish them up with your hands as you add them to the sauce. So sauce and all, so that's about half of a 28-ounce can. I want 2 tablespoons of Calabrian chili paste. And if you don't have this, you can also use red pepper flakes. I'm going to continue to squish out all of those little tomato pieces. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of sugar. Okay, I want to add in a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And 3 tablespoons of your favorite vodka. Okay, now that this has started to bubble, I'm going to cover it and simmer it for about 10 minutes. Now our caramelized onions have cooked down, so I'm going to turn the heat off of these and wait until our sauce cooks a little more, then we'll add the onions in, along with our cream and other ingredients. In the meantime, I'm going to start cooking up my pasta. Okay, now the water is boiling. I salted the water very well. I'm going to put in a half a box of this pipe rigate. I got this at Whole Foods. I'm told that's as close as what they use at the Carbone restaurant for this dish. So this is a 1 pound box. I'm only going to use half of it, 8 ounces. So the pasta box says to cook it for 8 to 10 minutes. And the recipe that I'm using says to cook it 3 minutes less than that. So we're going to go about 5 minutes. Cut it down to more of a gentle boil. Our sauce has simmered for 10 minutes. So we're going to take the lid off and let it go another 5 minutes. If you see any big chunks of tomato in there, you want to try to smooth those out. So once this boils down a little bit, we'll add our cream and our caramelized onions, and then we'll turn it off and wait until the pasta is done. Now the reason that we're not going to cook the pasta to the full package directions is we want to leave it a little more al dente because the pasta is going to go in the sauce. So it will continue to cook a little bit in the sauce. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Okay, I'm going to add in a half a cup of heavy cream. And my caramelized onions. Ooh, it looks so good. Okay, I went ahead and drained the pasta. Reserved a little bit of water if we needed it. I think the sauce is pretty thin. I don't think we're going to need it. So I'm just going to stir it around and let it warm up a little bit. Make sure the pasta is heated through. Let that heat up a little bit, and then we'll serve it up and do the taste test. That's so beautiful. Looks just like Carbone's Spicy Rigatoni. I shredded some Parmesan cheese. Perfect on there. And we top it with a little bit of garnish. Now for the taste test. I mean, I know this is going to be good. Oh wow. This is so good. And I have to say, it tastes almost exactly like Carbone's. That specific kind of pasta is just perfect for this dish because it really just holds the sauce, cooked a perfect al dente, then letting it cook in the sauce for a little bit. It's just amazing. Thanks so much for joining me today on Hope's Homemade Kitchen as we made Carbone's Spicy Rigatoni Vodka. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the bell for a notification of more videos that come out and share with your friends. If you like this dish, please comment down below and we'll see you next time.